There's something that happens in a man's mind when a woman goes down on him with absolute confidence. There, not just because she wants to please him, not because she feels like she has tog, but because she knows that in that moment, she holds the power to blow his mind, not just physically there, but emotionally. But here's the truth nobody is telling you. Most women have been sold a lie about what men actually want in the bedroom, especially when it comes to oral pleasure. They realize that they've been taught to perform, to mimic what they've seen in adult films, to be dirty, obedient, rather than aware, connected, and in command. And the worst part, many women don't even realize they're missing the one thing that would make him crave it again and again. The thing that takes a good experience and turns it into an unforgettable one. So let's shatter the myth, because the secret to giving a man the kind of oral experience that leaves him breathless, trembling, realize that and deeply bonded to you isn't found in some hidden move or complicated technique. It's in your mindset. It's in the way you read his body, respond with confidence, and build connection like a sensual dance. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the A1 oral pleasure secret that gives a man explosive spasm, and I'll break it down into 5 key shifts that any woman can use to elevate her intimate game. They deepen trust and leave a man completely obsessed. This isn't just about sex. It's about power, presence, and emotional seduction. They realize that they're there. And once you understand what I'm about to share, you'll never look at oral the same way again. Let's dive in. When it comes to creating a deeply intimate and unforgettable experience with a man, one of the most underrated yet powerful secrets is the ability to slow down and shift the energy. Most people, Paul, think pleasure is about speed, intensity, or doing something wild or out of the ordinary. But the truth is, the most magnetic, their mind-altering moments in intimacy come from doing the opposite. From slowing everything down so much that every second feels deliberate, every touch feels electric, then every movement pulls deeper into the experience. You see, slowing down isn't just about tempo. It's about presence. It's about being so tuned into the moment that your energy becomes undeniable. When you slow things down, you send a message. I'm not rushing this. I'm here with you. Realize that I want to feel every bit of this experience. And that message doesn't just land on a physical level. It hits him emotionally. It tells him he's not just being handled, he's being savored, worshipped, desired in a way that's personal, intentional, and rare. Think about it. We live in a world that's constantly speeding up, quick connections, fast texts, rushed conversations. But in the bedroom, speed rarely creates depth. A man doesn't remember how fast you moved. Realize that he remembers how deeply he felt when you move slower than expected, when you pause before each kiss, when your hands linger a little longer, when your breath softens instead of quickens, you activate a completely different layer of sensation in him. It's like his whole nervous system resets, and suddenly realize that he's not just experiencing stimulation, he's being drawn into a sensual story. This shift in energy can be especially powerful when you combine it with intention. Don't just slow down your body, slow down your mind. Let your thoughts be calm. Let your attention be locked onto him. Don't worry about what you're supposed to do or how you're performing. Instead, be curious, be playful, be in your power. That calm confidence is intoxicating. Because when you're grounded in your own rhythm, you create safety. And when a man feels safe, when he feels like he can fully let go without being judged, rushed, or analyzed, that is when his body releases fully. And here's where it gets interesting. When you slow things down, you don't actually reduce his pleasure. You intensify it because instead of throwing everything at him at once, you're giving his body time to respond. You're allowing tension to build. You're giving anticipation space to breathe. And that build up, that steady teasing crescendo is what makes the final release feel explosive. You're not just giving him a quick high. You're giving him a slow burn that explodes in a way he can't explain. Slowing down also creates space for emotional connection. It gives you both time to make contact, to read his breath, to enjoy the subtle reactions, those small gasps, those unconscious movements, those tiny signs that he's completely present with you. And when you notice those things and adjust to them, they realize that when you're so attuned that you respond to his every shift makes him feel seen in a way that's almost spiritual. Like you're not just with his body, you're with him. So if you want to give a man an experience he never forgets, start here. Don't rush. Don't chase the climax. Just sink into the moment and slow everything down. Trust the power of presence. Trust the electricity that comes from stillness, from softness, from depth. Because in a world that's always rushing to the next thing, realize a woman who knows how to slow down and shift the energy is unforgettable. One of the most transformative secrets to unforgettable intimacy lies in how you engage multiple points of connection at once, especially your hands, your mouth, your eyes, and even your voice. Most people think that oral intimacy is just about technique, about the motion of your lips or the precision of your tongue. But when a man talks about a moment he couldn't forget, realize that it's rarely because of one isolated move. It's because he felt completely enveloped in the experience. Like every part of you was speaking to every part of him. That's what creates emotional and physical intensity that lingers long after the moment is over. Think of it like this: your mouth might be where the stimulation begins there, but your hands and eyes tell the real story. They give you the power to deepen the experience, to guide, to anchor, to tease, and to connect. When you're fully engaged with your hands, you expand the pleasure far beyond what your mouth alone could do. You can stroke, cradle, explore. You can match or contrast your rhythm. You can support his body, apply pressure there, or even offer stillness while your mouth does something entirely different. And just as importantly, your hands give you control. They allow you to lead the experience, to steer the tempo. They're to build tension, to slow things down or drive things forward. That control is magnetic. It tells him he's safe to let go because you are the one in charge. They're there. But your eyes take things to a whole other level. Eye contact during intimacy is one of the most disarming, electrifying things you can offer. It says, I'm here with you. I see you. I'm not just doing this there. I want this. Even just a few seconds of looking up at him while you're giving him pleasure can make his entire body respond in ways he doesn't even understand. Realize he's not used to being looked at in his most vulnerable moment. And when you do it with warmth, playfulness, or power, it hits him hard. That eye contact creates a bridge between his body and his heart, and that's where the real impact lies. Now let's add your voice to the mix. Even if you're not speaking full sentences, your sounds, a soft sigh, a gentle hum, a playful giggle can make the experience feel richer, more alive. It lets him know you're engaged, that you're not just doing something to him. You're sharing the experience with him. And that more than anything makes him feel emotionally safe and completely turned on. So imagine this: your hands are guiding the rhythm. Your mouth is offering warm, intentional pleasure. Your eyes are occasionally meeting his with playful fire, and your breath is audible, alive around him. That's not a performance. That's a presence. That's artistry. That's intimacy. And this isn't about doing more work. It's about being more aware. When your whole body participates in the experience, that you're no longer focused on doing it right. You're in the moment, you're responding, you're creating. That's what makes a man melt. That's what makes him lose track of time. That's what makes him think I don't know what just happened, but I've never felt before. This isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about allowing yourself to express desire more fully. They're to take the lead, not by force, but through full body connection. Because when you show up with your hands, your mouth, your eyes, and your breath, you're not just giving him a physical experience. You realize that you're giving him a moment of emotional surrender. And that's the kind of pleasure that doesn't just make him feel good. It makes him remember you there. If you want to drive a man wild in the most unexpected way, the secret often isn't about where you touch him, but where you don't. Too often, people go straight for the most obvious areas. They realize they're thinking that pleasure is all about direct stimulation. But the truth is, a man's body is wired with far more sensitivity than most people realize. Rear there, and when you explore the areas around his most aroused zones, not just the destination, but the scenic route, you create a deeper, more immersive experience that builds anticipation like nothing else. It's in the slow glide of your lips across his hip bone, the delicate trail of your fingers tracing the inside of his thigh. Realize that there, the moment your breath lingers just above a sensitive spot, but you don't touch it, that's where the electricity builds. They realize that that's where you light up nerve endings he didn't even know existed. And that's where desire starts to boil, not just bubble. Most people overlook this. They think going straight to the main event is what creates intensity. But what they miss is that tension is the gateway to explosive release. And you build that tension not by diving in head first, but by circling, teasing, waiting. Realize that think of it like foreplay within foreplay. You're showing him that you know his body better than he knows it himself. Every part of his body can be an erogenous zone if approached with curiosity and care. His stomach, especially the area just above his pelvis, is extremely responsive. His inner thighs lay there with nerve endings that crave attention. His hips, lower back, even the space where his ribs meet his skin, they're all waiting to be awakened. And when you kiss or even lightly graze these areas without rushing forward, his body becomes a live wire of sensation. It makes every second feel intimate, erotic, and unexpected. And what's better, it makes him beg for what's next. What makes this kind of touch so powerful is not just the physical reaction, it's the psychological one. When you explore his body like it's a gift, like every inch is worth savoring, he doesn't just feel aroused, he feels wanted. He feels desired in a way that goes beyond lust. It taps into his need to be seen, appreciated, realize they're even worshipped. And that feeling, that's where magnetic intimacy begins. There's something unbelievably seductive about a woman who takes her time and doesn't rush toward the obvious. They're a woman who seems to enjoy his anticipation as much as he does. A woman who treats his body like it's worthy of attention, not just function. That energy is rare, lies that there. And when he senses it in you, that patience, that command, that almost playful dominance, he will fall apart in your hands. And here's the best part, when you do finally give him what he aching for, the payoff is 10 times stronger, because by then his body is so wound up with desire, so hypersensitive from your teasing, that the release feels overwhelming. Not just physically, but emotionally. He doesn't just feel relief, he feels devotion. So don't underestimate the areas around the obvious. Explore them. Realize that they're linger. Let your curiosity guide you. When you stop chasing the climax and start enjoying the build-up, that's when you give him an experience that stays with him. In his muscles, there in his memory and in his heart. One of the most underestimated tools of deep intimacy is your voice. Not just in the way you sound, but in the way you speak. And sometimes all it takes is one bold timed question to completely change the emotional chemistry of a moment. We often assume intimacy is purely physical, about touch, about rhythm, about responsiveness. But what most women don't realize is that a man's mind is just as involved as his body, especially during his most vulnerable, intense moments. And when you use your voice to speak directly into his arousal with confidence, curiosity, and a little playfulness, you don't just heighten the experience if you own it. Realize that the right question asked in the right moment can do more than stimulate. It can electrify. It creates a spark of emotional presence that makes everything feel more vivid. A question like, do you like how I'm making you feel? Or should I stop, or do you want more? Isn't just sexy, it's powerful. It instantly pulls him deeper into the present. It invites him to feel, not just react. It blurs the line between physical pleasure and emotional surrender. And that's where things get really interesting. Why is this so effective? Because men are not often given space to be expressive during intimacy. They're expected to perform, to respond to climax. But rarely are they invited to open up during the moment there. So when you ask a question and do it with confidence, it disrupts that pattern. It surprises him in the best way. And when your tone is soft, teasing, or even commanding, it opens the door for him to experience something deeper than physical sensation. It becomes a dialogue, not just an act. This also gives you more power in the moment. Because when you speak, realize that you're leading, you're taking initiative, you're letting him know this is a shared experience. that you are just as engaged and turned on. A lot of women worry about doing it right, but the truth is, it's not about flawless technique. It's about communication. It's about presence there. And using your voice, especially in those intense moments, reminds both of you that this isn't performance, but it's connection. And the beauty is, it doesn't have to be anything scripted. It can be as simple as, tell me what you like. Or, you feel so good right now. Even soft affirmations whispered in his ear while you're touching him can send him spiraling there. Not because of the words themselves, but because of what they representing, that you're confident, connected, and completely in control of your own desire. What most women don't realize is that their voice is one of the most arousing tools they have. The pitch or toned it, but the intention behind it, it shows you're in tune with the moment. It shows you're willing to lead, to ask, to take him somewhere deeper. And that kind of woman, the one who isn't afraid to speak in moments when others go silent, is unforgettable. So that don't hold back. Don't silence yourself because of fear or doubt when you use your voice with purpose. When you ask, when you tease, realize that when you speak your desire, you activate a level of chemistry that hands, lips, and movement alone can't reach. You create a space where he doesn't just feel good, he feels understood there. And in that space, pleasure becomes something more, something emotional, something sacred, something he'll never stop thinking about. Realize that they're one of the most overlooked yet crucial parts of any intimate experience is what happens after the peak. In fact, it's in the seconds after he lets go that you have the greatest opportunity to leave a lasting emotional impression. Because while most people focus on the build-up and the climax, what many forget is that the moment after release is where connection either deepens or quietly disappears. And the women who understand this, the ones who know how to stay present in the softness, are the ones men never forget. You see, for a man, climax can be a vulnerable moment. His body has surrendered. His breathing has slowed. His adrenaline drops. His emotional walls, even if just for a few seconds, come down. And in that space, if you rush away, if you move too fast to clean up, to cover up, to disengage, you unintentionally send a message, not a cruel one, but a cold one. A message that says, that part is over. We're done now. And while he may not verbalize it, that moment affects him. It subtly tells his nervous system to retreat, to close up again, to armor back up. But when you choose to stay, to touch his chest, to rest your head on his shoulder, to kiss him gently or whisper something soft, you do the opposite. You create a space of emotional safety. They're one that says, you were safe with me. You still are. That post-intimacy presence is where trust grows. It's where he begins to associate your touch not just with pleasure, but with comfort, their intimacy and emotional grounding. What's powerful here is how simple it can be. You don't need to say much. Sometimes it's a warm smile, a brush of your hand through his hair, or a little laugh that breaks the tension and brings him back into the moment. Other times it's just silence, but a connected silence. The kind where your body is still close, your breathing sinks, and your energy says, there's nowhere else I'd rather be right now.
Yeah.
This moment also allows for reconnection, emotionally and physically. There, when you stay close after, you give space for gratitude, for compliments, for vulnerability. He might reach for you. He might open up more. He might share something he normally keeps buried there, because in those minutes of calm, when his body is relaxed and his heart is still buzzing, that's when he feels emotionally available. That's when he's open to bonding there. And here's something beautiful. This kind of presence after the peak doesn't just benefit him. It benefits you. It slows you down. It helps you feel appreciated. It allows you to receive affection and softness after giving so much of yourself. It balances the energy. It turns the moment from a one-sided performance into a mutual experience there. And it stays with him. He may not remember every move or every breath, but he will remember how you made him feel after. That lingering tenderness, reassurance, that softness, that's what keeps you in his heart. That's him crave not just your body, but your presence. So don't underestimate the power of what happens after. Stay in the space, stay in the warmth. Let the softness stretch longer than expected. Because in a world that rushes toward pleasure and then runs from emotion, a woman who stays, a woman who holds the moment, is the one who leaves a mark far deeper than lust. So what's the real secret to giving him an experience that leaves his body trembling and his heart wide open? It's not just about doing something provocative. Realize that it's not about being someone you're not. And it's definitely not about pressure or perfection. It's about presence. It's about the courage to slow down. They realize that the confidence to use every part of yourself, your hands, your eyes, your voice, the curiosity to explore his body in new ways, the boldness to speak into the moment there, and the softness to stay even after it's over. Because when you do that, when you combine physical pleasure with emotional intention, you create something far more powerful than just an orgasm. You create intimacy. You create trust. You create a memory that follows him long after he walks out the door. That's the kind of woman a man doesn't just crave. It's the kind he remembers, the kind he respects, the kind he emotionally bonds with in ways he can't always explain. So if you've ever wondered how to truly connect with a man in the most intimate way, this is it. Not a trick, not a gimmick, but you fully present, that fully aware and fully in your power. And here's the truth: any woman can learn and do this. And you just did. Now, realize that if this message resonated with you, if you want more tools to elevate your love life, they've deepened connection there and step fully into your magnetic feminine power, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new episode. And in the comments, tell me this: which of these 5 secrets are you most excited to try or explore in a deeper way? Let's have a real, unfiltered conversation down below, because intimacy doesn't grow in silence, but grows in shared truth. I'll see you in the next one.